Over the past 4 decades, video games have grown to be one of the biggest media industries in the world. Hundreds of new games are released every year, and the number of successful franchises continues to grow. With so many titles to choose from, it can be difficult to know where to start with a new game or series. Luckily for you, Gaming is for Everyone is here to be your guide in understanding today's most popular and influential franchises, what they are, how they're played, and why they're loved. This is Big Games Explained, and for our first episode, we're journeying to the Kingdom of Hyrule. Mount your horse, grab your sword and shield, and don your pointy green hat, because it's time to learn about the Legend of Zelda. The princess, the hero, the villain. Monsters, magic, music. The Legend of Zelda is gaming's most iconic and beloved fairy tale, and since 1986, players all over the world have taken part in the series' unique brand of action, adventure, puzzles, and exploration. Each installment is unique and brings new ideas to the franchise, but the basic structure is almost always the same. You play as a young boy named Link who is tasked with saving Princess Zelda from a monstrous villain and restoring peace to the Kingdom of Hyrule. Gameplay involves exploring different areas of the world, from open fields and towering mountains to dark caves and monster-infested dungeons. Over the course of his adventure, Link gathers new tools and weapons that help him fight enemies, access new areas, and solve the occasional puzzle. These include the bow and arrow, boomerang, bombs, hookshot, and of course, the legendary Master Sword. Music has always been a major part of the Zelda series. Composer Koji Kondo has made most of the game's music, and many of his themes have become iconic, beloved by millions of gamers, and performed by countless musicians worldwide, including many full orchestras. But that's not the only role music plays in The Legend of Zelda. Performing music is often a central gameplay mechanic, and magical instruments can do anything from calling your horse to sending Link back and forth through time. The world of Zelda is full of unique, endearing characters to interact with. Receive guidance from wise old sages, talk to friendly villagers, and meet all the different races that inhabit Hyrule. The cheerful Koroks of the forest, the fish-like Zora, and the all-female warriors of the Gerudo, just to name a few. Each culture lives in a different climate or environment, and Link's adventures will take you to all of them. As of 2019, there have been 19 main entries in the series, which are exclusive to Nintendo's home consoles and handheld systems. All but 3 of these are single-player experiences. Each game puts its own spin on the Zelda formula. Some are played from a top-down 2D perspective, while others, starting with 1998's Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64, are played from behind in a 3D environment. Some are bright, colorful, and lighthearted, while others are darker and more serious. Some are rather linear and more story-focused, while others are more open and encourage making your own adventure. Regardless of which one you play, if you like epic tales of fantasy, beautiful music, action-packed boss fights, puzzles, and secrets, you'll find something to love in the Legend of Zelda series. But which game is best to start with? Honestly, it's entirely up to you. The plot of most Zelda games are unrelated from each other, featuring a different version of Link and a different story, so the installments can be played in any order. Additionally, many of the Legend of Zelda games are often listed as being among the greatest video games ever made, so you can't really go wrong. Whichever one appeals to you most, or whichever you have easiest access to, is probably your best bet. That being said, here are my personal recommendations. The most recent game in the series, Breath of the Wild, is currently available for both the Nintendo Switch and its predecessor, the WiiU. If you already have a Switch or are considering getting one, it's really a no-brainer purchase. Reviews for Breath of the Wild have been almost universally fantastic, and it's probably my personal favorite game in the series. The Hyrule of this game is huge and gorgeous, full of things to do and secrets to find. Once you complete the main quest, there's still so much more to see. From hidden dungeons and puzzles, to trying to collect all the best weapons, and even to photographing the wildlife. Simply put, Breath of the Wild is an incredible experience. But maybe you want something smaller and less intimidating for your first foray into Zelda. In that case, I'd recommend picking up The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, which is actually a modern remake of a game originally released on the Game Boy. Unlike Breath of the Wild, Link's Awakening is played from a top-down perspective, which might be easier for someone that's not yet used to playing fully 3D games. It's also a smaller and more manageable experience, but still with plenty to do. Link's Awakening also has a great story and some of the best music in the series, if you ask me. Another option if you want to Switch is to buy a Nintendo Switch Online membership, which for $20 a year gives you access to a library of retro NES and Super NES games, including the first 3 games in the Zelda series: The Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link, and A Link to the Past. But even if you don't have a Switch, there are plenty of great Zelda games on other Nintendo systems. A Link Between Worlds on 3DS and 2DS is an excellent entry, especially for puzzle lovers, because of its unique wall-merging mechanic that gives Link new and interesting ways to explore the world and interact with his environment. On Wii U, Breath of the Wild is still available, but there's also 2 HD remakes of older 3D entries in the series: Twilight Princess, a dark and spooky game where Link can turn into a wolf, and The Wind Waker, a seafaring adventure that features beautiful cartoon-style graphics, an amazing soundtrack, and a lot of great humor. Those are my recommendations, but they only scratch the surface of Zelda's long history. The Legend of Zelda is a series many gamers have grown up playing, myself included, and it holds a special place in our hearts. If you're already a fan of this series watching this video, what are your favorite entries? Leave a comment and let the newcomers know why you love them. What makes each game special to you? If, on the other hand, you're new to the series, what questions do you have that this video didn't answer? Feel free to leave a comment as well, and I'll do my best to respond to everyone. You can also email me at jack@gamingisforeveryone.com, or follow us on Twitter @GIFE_show. All the games featured in this episode are linked in the description. If you're interested in watching future episodes of Big Games Explained, or any of the other series on Gaming is for Everyone, click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.